All right, you guys, good morning. Another run in the books. It's your boy LeBron. For those who don't know me, I'm the share and point guy, not a guru, not a mentor, not a expert. I have read over 300 books on self-help, mastery, logged thousands of hours of seminars. Had a bunch of logged hundreds of hours with mentors and coaches, half of which dropped me. But I am here, and what I have experienced, I did want to share, and I can point you in the right direction. Out of those 300 books, is probably you only need to read 30 of them, 10%. How to get the right coach. And most coaches are good, but the one's right for you. What seminars to go to. Out of all the ones, there's only 2 of them that I recommend. So today's subject is scheduling. So, if we go back now, we've talked about C.A.N.I, constant and never-ending improvement. How's it going? And we talked about dreamlining, we talked about avatars after that, actually. So what kind of person do you want to be, to improve yourself to be? And we talked about dreamlining, right? So how to set a goal and dream and vision that you can pursue. So today we're going to talk about scheduling. So you have this commitment to improve. You have this person you want to be. You're very clear on who you want to become. And you have this dream. Now it needs to be scheduled. And you know what? I'm not going to talk a lot about scheduling because that's easy. I recommend 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey's weekly schedule system. And that's pretty much it on that subject. As far as scheduling. But what I want to talk about is what prevents you from doing what you need to do on a daily basis. My phone's ringing, y'all. So what prevents you from doing what you need to do on a daily basis? So once you put something in a schedule, and for me, if it's not in the schedule, if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. And for me now, I need not only do I need the calendar, I need reminders in the calendar, and I need alarm to go off to remind me to look at the reminders in the calendar. But what prevents you from doing what you need to do on a daily basis? And I would submit it's 2 things. Number 1, emotional blocks. Emotional roadblocks. What does that mean? Throughout your experience, no matter what you've gone through, no matter what your life experiences are, you've gone through emotional blocks. You've experienced something with your parents, with your first love, with your friends, with society. Maybe you were gay and you came out early. Maybe you were molested. Maybe you were like me, were beat up all the time. Bullied. Shout out to my stepdad for, teaching me how to deal with that. Parents weren't around. All kind of things. You start to form emotional belief systems and emotional responses to that. And it becomes a hindrance to you. And no matter what you do, no matter what system you find, no matter what guru you're following, no matter what books you read, I can share this. Unless you deal with those emotional issues, you're not going to do what you need to do to achieve that avatar, to follow that dream line. You're just not. You're not going to do what you need to do. And then the second one, just as powerful as intellectual intelligence. intellectual blocks, intellectual roadblocks. You know, it's the wrong beliefs about money. Let's say it's money, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, you know, well, it goes on bushes, it comes from cotton. Or, there's, I hear this a lot, all the good men are taken or gay or something like that from women. Those intellectual belief systems that you have are preventing you from getting up and doing what you need to do, because if you think money doesn't grow on trees, which means money is not easily accessible or is not accessible to me, if you think that way, then you're not going to do what you need to do, because why? All of my efforts are going to be useless. Or if you have some emotional connection to money that prevents you, like, or spiritual, I would say that an emotional connection, like, money is bad, the root of all evil is, love of money is the root, or money is the root of all evil, right? When the real quote is the love of money is the root of all evil. So what I can share in my life is that there's 3 things that I've done that's truly helped me, and I've done it over a long period of time, and you don't need to do that. It's one of the reasons why I'm sharing this, one of the reasons why I'm talking to my Facebook family, is that you don't need to go through that 10, 15, 20 years that I did to kind of deal with that. The first one is read. Go out there and find somebody, and there's somebody. Even if it's one of these rich ministers out there, I don't believe in that stuff, but maybe you believe that your pastor is called from God and God has blessed him with all, these jets and this money and these cars. Follow him or her, Read subjects on money, read. Secondly, for the emotional intelligence, to remove the emotional blocks, I recommend MITT. Now there's 2, there's MITT, and then for the intellectual, I recommend Landmark. But reason why, MITT says straight up, they're an emotional intelligence company. And I don't want to give away anything, I'm going to put a link on this post right here for it. It's Masters in Transformation Training. I'm going to put the link to their website. They deal with the emotional roadblocks. And then, in my opinion, again, I'm not an expert, you need to do your own research. They might even disagree, but this is, again, I'm just sharing and pointing. That's all I can do is share and point. If you know me, if you knew me personally, you don't follow me. Just almost kind of, I should have said this in the beginning, I'm not one to be followed. There's not going to be, at the end of this, I'm not going to say, hey, buy my book. I'm not trying to build up followers, for people to buy my book. I'm just really, truly sharing these things and pointing in the right direction, because I do believe I can point you to the right books and the right seminars, all the mistakes that I've made and things that's worked and hasn't worked, and the things that I've seen that works for other people. 44 minutes. So anyway, Landmark is more of the intellectual roadblocks. Landmark Education, again, I'll put a link to their website. You want to check it out. They're more of the intellectual roadblocks. The things that you developed as a small child that were emotional, but you kind of formed intellectually, so in your head, that blows you. They both have intellectual and emotional aspects to them. My opinion, what I can share and point you to is from what I've experienced both of them. At this point, I'm going to kind of continue their program with MITT. So I got a couple of more seminars coming up. Shout out to my MITT people. Boom, that's for you. Is that, they both have mental and emotional aspects. I just think that one is a more effective on one aspect than the other. So, yeah, that's really it. I think, again, if we look back on what we've been talking about, what I've been talking about is if you can really commit to improving yourself and commit to the person you want to be and commit to, looking at your dreams and pursuing your dreams, and then commit to taking daily action, you're set right there, man. You're set right there. It's easier said than done. What's going on? It's easier said than done, but it's a life worth living, and that's where I can say I'm at. If I have anything, I went from somebody with no redeemable qualities to somebody with a few decent redeemable qualities in pursuit of living my purpose in this world. So that's it. Shout out to my new coach, Roland, the coach out there. Shout out to MITT. Shout out to Landmark, all my Landmark people, all my MITT people. Shout out to my good friend, Tamara. Shout out to my good friend, Hema. You guys have been really great friends and helped me out through my struggles. Shout out to everybody else out there. And remember, make it a great day because it ain't gonna make itself. Peace.